Many elderly individuals mistakenly believe that aging brings only obvious ailments, such as heart disease, cancer, or sudden accidents. Yet there exists a silent cause that few notice: the gradual loss of connection to physical pleasure. Upon entering their 60s and beyond, many accept that their bodies have lost the capacity to experience joy through intimate touch and movement. Society also perpetuates prejudices, suggesting that sexual expression is reserved for the young, causing seniors to withdraw into silence. They gradually abandon habits of cuddling, caressing, or even simple body awareness exercises, habits that, although seemingly harmless, are critical for maintaining blood circulation, hormonal balance, and neural stimulation. Without regular sensory input, blood vessels to vital organs constrict, neural pathways lose flexibility, and sex hormones decline more rapidly. These changes not only degrade mental well-being, resulting in poorer sleep, low mood, and fatigue, but also impair the immune system, making the body more susceptible to chronic conditions like hypertension, diabetes, and even cognitive decline. This self-imposed silence silently drains vitality, eroding joy in every breath and step, and ultimately shortens a lifespan that could otherwise have been extended. However, once seniors recognize this disconnect as a root cause, they can rekindle their bond with their bodies, setting aside time to relax, practicing gentle movement, combined with mindful breathing, and stimulating body awareness through massage or slow exercises. Such conscious actions help restore circulation, rebalance hormones, and rebuild neural connections, thereby nourishing life force, improving quality of life, and naturally extending longevity. Upon entering the period beyond 60, many people focus on traditional medical indicators such as blood pressure, cholesterol, or fitness levels, but long-term clinical research and observations of thousands of patients reveal an even more powerful and overlooked predictor of longevity: maintaining a connection to physical pleasure. Regular stimulation of bodily sensations, from gentle touch and caresses to simple sexual activities, has been shown to strongly correlate with both physical and mental resilience. When pleasure is consistently activated, blood flow to vital organs such as the heart, brain, and lungs improves significantly, preserving vascular elasticity and enhancing organ function. At the same time, the biochemical response during moments of pleasure releases natural endorphins, reducing stress, improving sleep quality, and stabilizing mood, thereby elevating daily quality of life. Moreover, these activities stimulate the production of crucial hormones like testosterone and estrogen, which help maintain muscle mass, bone density, and sexual health in older adults. Neurologically, physical pleasure activates multiple cortical regions involved in memory, focus, and emotional regulation, helping to ward off cognitive decline and dementia. Recent studies also indicate that seniors who maintain regular sexual activity experience significantly lower rates of depression and anxiety, while demonstrating greater capability for self-care and social participation. This evidence shows that the predictor of longevity after 60 extends beyond merely avoiding illness. It encompasses how individuals sustain their connection to pleasure as an indispensable component of holistic health. Recognizing and actively nurturing physical pleasure, therefore, opens the door to living longer and living better, because it profoundly influences circulation, hormonal balance, and neural health, the three fundamental pillars of a joyful and healthy old age. When elderly individuals gradually cut off physical pleasure, both their bodies and minds suffer widespread effects, starting with microscopic changes in physiological systems. Initially, the lack of regular stimulation causes blood vessels in vital organs, such as the heart, brain, and kidneys, to constrict, reducing circulation and depriving tissues of adequate oxygen and nutrients. As a result, muscles lose strength, organ function declines, and the body's ability to recover from injury diminishes rapidly. Next, the absence of pleasurable stimuli decreases activity along neural pathways associated with joy, leading to synaptic atrophy and weakened communication between neurons. This not only impairs memory and concentration, but also increases the risk of cognitive decline. At the same time, the body loses out on positive endocrine effects. Levels of hormones like endorphins, oxytocin, and testosterone drop sharply, triggering chronic stress, poor sleep, persistent fatigue, and depressed mood. When sleep quality deteriorates, the body lacks sufficient time to regenerate energy and repair cells, plunging individuals into a vicious cycle of physical and mental exhaustion. The immune system is likewise compromised when pleasure is suppressed. White blood cells and antibodies fail to develop, fully making seniors more susceptible to infections, chronic inflammation, and diseases like diabetes, hypertension, arthritis, and cancer. Ultimately, these compounded disadvantages lead to a weakened body, lowered spirits, reduced self-care ability, and social withdrawal, resulting in isolation and feelings of worthlessness. This cycle not only shortens lifespan, but also robs life of its quality. Joy, confidence, and daily meaning gradually erode. Changing habits. Understanding the link between pleasure and health and restoring gentle activities such as massage, breathwork, combined with movement or appropriate pleasure-focused exercises, are the first steps to reversing these severe consequences. Once physical pleasure is reestablished overall, health can recover from circulation and neural function to hormonal balance, bringing renewed vitality and naturally extending longevity. Sexuality and physical pleasure in the elderly are often relegated to society's shadows by deep-seated, long-standing prejudices. Generations have grown up with the notion that old age means your time is up, that once people cross into their 60s or 70s, all sexual function, desire, and the need for touch and intimacy expire. Whispers like, "They're too old for that now," or the hesitant glances of children, friends, and even healthcare providers invisibly build a wall of shame, causing many seniors to retreat from intimate life. These biases not only stifle sexual needs, but also instill a fear of being judged if one still craves pleasure. Society rarely openly discusses the importance of intimacy in later life, and medical literature seldom integrates elderly sexuality as a component of holistic health. When physiological needs are deemed inappropriate, seniors lack guidance, information, and tailored training to maintain bodily connection. They also have few safe spaces to share concerns or anxieties about bodily changes and evolving sexual expression with age. Moreover, entertainment, advertising, and film almost exclusively portray sexuality and youth-linking images of old age with apathy, dryness, and sexual impotence. This layering of prejudice and silence contributes to diminished quality of life. For seniors, they feel sadness, low self-esteem, social withdrawal, and a sense that their bodies no longer belong to them. To dismantle these biases, communities and families must awaken to the issue, promoting open dialogue, providing knowledge about elderly sexual health, and respecting the right to pleasure at every life stage. When prejudice fades, seniors will dare to rekindle intimate living, thereby reviving vitality, improving physical and mental health, and extending life with fuller quality. After age 60, maintaining a connection with one's body through self-pleasure masturbation plays a crucial role not only physiologically, but also mentally and emotionally. When partnered sexual activity may be limited by health or living circumstances, self-pleasure becomes a safe, private, and accessible method to stimulate circulation, delivering oxygen more effectively to vital organs like the heart, brain, and kidneys. Each session of self-pleasure triggers a cascade of biochemical responses. Endorphins and oxytocin are released, reducing stress, improving sleep, and inducing deep relaxation. Testosterone and estrogen levels are better maintained, supporting muscle mass, bone density, and sexual function. Neurologically, self-pleasure activates multiple cortical regions linked to pleasure-preserving neural connectivity and supporting memory and focus. Additionally, self-pleasure enhances self-esteem and affirms personal values. Seniors recognize that their bodies still possess the capacity to feel, experience, and enjoy. This challenges the notion that old age must be sexually silent, promoting a proactive attitude toward holistic healthcare. Research indicates that seniors who regularly practice self-pleasure after 60 exhibit lower rates of depression and anxiety compared to those who do not, and they are more likely to engage in social and physical activities. Moreover, self-pleasure serves as a way for older adults to reconnect with their bodies, understand changes in sensation and sensitivity, and choose appropriate methods when engaging with partners or performing specialized exercises and massages. To maximize benefits, seniors should dedicate time 2 to 3 times per week in a private, relaxed setting, possibly using lubricants for comfort and to prevent skin irritation. Establishing this habit supports not only sexual health, but also generates renewed vitality, improves circulation, balances hormones, and aids physical recovery after activity. In conclusion, self-pleasure after 60 is not a sign of loneliness or decline, but a powerful tool for nourishing life force, extending longevity and enhancing quality of life in the golden years. The neurological and psychological benefits of maintaining physical pleasure in older adults are profound and multifaceted. When the body experiences sexual stimulation, whether through self-pleasure or intimate interaction, multiple regions of the cerebral cortex related to emotion, memory, and mood regulation are simultaneously activated. This process encourages synaptogenesis, new synapse formation, and enhances signal transmission between neurons, thereby preserving brain plasticity and preventing cognitive decline common in later life. Additionally, the release of endorphins and dopamine during moments of pleasure acts as natural painkillers and mood enhancers, dispelling stress and anxiety while promoting a positive mindset. As mood improves cortisol production, the stress hormone decreases markedly, leading to better sleep quality, improved focus, and strengthened immune function. Moreover, physical pleasure stimulates the hippocampus, the brain region responsible for long-term memory storage, boosting the ability to retain and learn new information. Regular intimate activity can help seniors maintain mental clarity, quick reflexes, and creative thinking when facing life's challenges. Emotionally, pleasure is linked to feelings of safety and happiness, enhancing self-esteem and fostering a positive self-image. These positive emotions facilitate social engagement, making it easier for older adults to connect with friends and family, thereby reducing the risk of isolation and depression. Clinical studies have also shown that seniors who regularly engage in physical pleasure have higher serotonin levels in the brain, stabilizing mood and reducing anxiety disorders. Furthermore, the increased cerebral blood flow that accompanies orgasm nourishes brain cells, prevents brain atrophy, and supports recovery from neurological injuries. In summary, physical pleasure is not merely a fleeting source of joy, but a natural and effective means of maintaining robust neurological and psychological health, enabling older adults to live vibrantly, energetically, and with mental sharpness. Taking deliberate actions to affirm one's self-worth through reconnecting with physical pleasure represents a vital step for older adults to reclaim dignity and the right to enjoy life. When they intentionally allocate time to attend to bodily needs, whether through simple self-pleasure moments or intimate interactions with a partner, they send a powerful message: I still matter, I deserve care and joy. This disrupts negative thoughts like I'm too old for desire or I'm a burden, while reigniting self-esteem and belief in their own emotional capacities. As this self-affirming practice becomes routine, seniors recognize that their bodies retain the ability to feel, adapt, and respond, thus fostering a positive mind-body connection. They no longer perceive seeking pleasure as shameful, but view it as an essential part of holistic health. Affirming self-worth also empowers proactive engagement in other areas of life. Mindful nutrition, appropriate physical activity, social connections, and creative hobbies. Seniors feel more confident sharing emotions, expressing needs, and creating a safe personal space, thereby enhancing relationships with family and friends. Moreover, self-affirmation brings profound psychological benefits, reducing anxiety, countering depression, and reinforcing an optimistic outlook. When older adults understand they still possess the right to pursue joy, they become more open to group activities, meeting friends, and exploring new interests, which expands their social network and generates societal value. In practice, seniors who actively seek and preserve pleasure report higher life satisfaction, sharper mental acuity, and sustained overall health. Therefore, actions taken to affirm self-worth transcend intimate moments, positively influencing every facet of aging and bringing meaningful, lasting happiness to the golden years. On the journey to rediscover physical pleasure in later life, several common misconceptions can slow or block the process of renewing vitality. The first misconception is that old age is not compatible with sex, causing many to feel ashamed and deny themselves the opportunity to enjoy intimacy. They believe they are too old to feel pleasure when in fact their bodies can still respond, provided they adapt to changes in pace and intensity. The second misunderstanding is that masturbation signifies loneliness or abnormality. Many assume it's only for those without partners, but in truth, it is a proactive, positive form of self-care that maintains circulation, balances hormones, and integrates mind and body. Third is the belief that conserving sexual energy is better for long-term health. Some seniors suppress pleasure for fear of losing strength, but such inhibition actually reduces hormone productivity, constricts blood vessels and causes mental fatigue. Regular pleasure acts as a stimulant for circulation and boosts immunity. The fourth misconception is that physical pleasure only affects sexual health and is unrelated to other aspects. In reality, pleasure simultaneously influences the nervous, endocrine, and circulatory systems. Maintaining it regularly improves sleep, reduces depression, enhances focus, and lays the foundation for holistic health. People often isolate sexuality from overall wellness, yet science confirms a strong link between pleasure and longevity. Finally, many hesitate, thinking that physical pleasure requires special conditions or medical devices. In fact, all that is needed is a private, comfortable space, along with simple motions or a lubricant gel, to naturally evoke pleasure. Understanding and dispelling these misconceptions empowers older adults to confidently reclaim bodily joy, thereby reviving energy, improving quality of life, and extending longevity. The restoration method is a step-by-step process designed to help older adults naturally, safely, and effectively reconnect with physical pleasure. The first stage is preparation, which involves creating a welcoming environment. Choose a private room, set a comfortable temperature, use soft lighting, and have a safe lubricant on hand. This preparation signals to your body that you honor its needs, laying a psychological foundation for a positive experience. Next comes relaxation, initiated with deep breathing exercises. Inhale for 4 counts, hold for 2, then exhale for 6. This technique eases muscle tension, lowers heart rate, and calms the mind. Once the body settles, proceed to awakening, where you gently explore sensitive areas such as the chest, neck, inner thighs, and lower abdomen with your fingertips. Avoid pressure to achieve results. Simply observe emerging sensations and favor movements that feel soothing. The fourth phase. Focus stimulation gradually increases the intensity of your touch in a slow, steady rhythm, using lubricant to minimize friction and enhance smoothness. Instead of rushing toward an endpoint, savor each moment of arousal, paying attention to your breath and bodily vibrations. The final stage is integration, where upon reaching a comfortable level of pleasure, you pause, fully relax, close your eyes, and spend a few minutes absorbing the afterglow. Express gratitude by placing your hand on your heart, smiling, and breathing slowly. Integration strengthens the mind-body connection, transforming a private moment into a lasting source of vitality. When practiced consistently 2 to 3 times per week, the restoration method not only restores circulation, balances hormones, and rebuilds neural pathways, but also fosters self-confidence, enhances sleep quality, reduces stress, and improves overall health. Importantly, this method cultivates a positive mindset toward the body, and aging, affirming that physical pleasure is not merely fleeting enjoyment, but a cornerstone of a healthy, energized, and meaningful life. During the application of the restoration method, older adults often face several specific challenges, each of which can be overcome to sustain an effective journey toward restoring physical pleasure. First is unrealistic expectations. A common barrier: many anticipate intense youthful sensations from their very first session. When they don't reach the peak, as hope, discouragement sets in, and they may quit. To overcome this, it's essential to adjust one's mindset, shifting focus from demanding outcomes to celebrating small improvements. Every gentle sensation is evidence of the body's revival. Next is inconsistency in practice. Some only perform the restoration method when they feel like it, resulting in unsustainable results. The solution is to set a fixed schedule, for example, 2 to 3 sessions per week at a relaxing time, which builds self-respect and allows the body to adapt. The third challenge is performance pressure. Overly fixating on achieving perfect pleasure causes both mind and body to tighten, blocking circulation and sensation. The remedy is to redirect attention to the journey. Observe your breath, bodily sensations, and ambient sounds to keep your mind present instead of worrying about outcomes. Additionally, shame or guilt may reemerge, especially in those with outdated beliefs. In such moments, self-compassion is key. Remind yourself that caring for and enjoying your body is a fundamental right, not something wrong. Finally, physical health limitations such as joint pain or muscle fatigue can obstruct technique. To address this, adapt movements to suit your physical condition. Prioritize gentle exercises. Avoid overly bent or strained positions. Incorporate warm compresses, massage, and consult professionals if needed. By systematically overcoming these challenges, older adults not only restore physical pleasure, but also cultivate patience, boost self-confidence, and affirm their right to enjoy a high-quality life at every stage of aging. At the conclusion of the journey to restore physical pleasure using the restoration method, the most important realization is that the right to enjoy pleasure never expires. Even after decades of bodily changes, the need for comfort, joy, and connection remains. Reconnecting with physical pleasure is not a selfish act, but an essential element of holistic self-care, balancing the body, mind, and spirit. When older adults allow themselves to experience this joy, they send a powerful message that they still matter and deserve to be cherished and protected. Moreover, physical pleasure acts as a natural medicine, enhancing circulation, releasing happiness, inducing hormones, alleviating pain, and combating chronic stress. Psychologically, it activates brain regions responsible for emotional regulation and memory, bolstering focus and preserving mental clarity. When pleasure is welcomed as a normal part of life, seniors more easily maintain a positive attitude, break down mental barriers, and dispel the myth of silent aging. This open mindset fuels motivation to sustain other healthy habits, such as gentle exercise, balanced nutrition, and social engagement. Additionally, embracing pleasure strengthens bonds and relationships from partners and children to peers, since intimate moments ignite empathy, sharing, and mutual trust. Ultimately, affirming the right to enjoy pleasure is a declaration of respect for one's body and life, opening the door to aging that not only extends years but enhances quality in every day. Remember, the greatest achievement is not the number of years lived, but the ability to continue living fully, vibrantly, and joyfully, regardless of how time is measured.